CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Evan Kenny.
A male was observed in the parking lot with what was believed to be a firearm. The detachment went into an immediate lockdown.
A Mountie shoots someone at an RCMP detachment in Sherwood Park. Good evening. A man is in hospital after a shooting at the police detachment in Sherwood Park. RCMP say he showed up in the parking lot this morning with what appeared to be a gun. CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports.
RCMP are typically out in the community investigating things like shootings, but today there was a police scene right on their own property in the gated parking lot behind the Strathcona County RCMP detachment. Around 10:30 a.m., RCMP say officers saw a man with what appeared to be a gun walking around the parking lot. We're told the building was immediately put into lockdown. A confrontation occurred and officers opened fire, shooting the man. First aid was given and he was rushed to hospital by ambulance. A man who lives at the seniors' home across the street tells CTV News he heard 3 or 4 gunshots, then saw police surround a person on the ground. The detachment commander here says the situation is unnerving.
There's approximately 2.2 incidents of violence towards police every day, right? This is just very close to home, shall we say, but it is absolutely rare.
This is the 3rd shooting involving Alberta RCMP in the past 10 days. In mid-July, a man was shot and killed by police in Grand Prairie. Police say they attempted to pull him over for driving erratically. After driving off, he took out a gun during a confrontation with them. Yesterday, police shot and killed a man in Lac La Biche. RCMP said during a disturbance call, he attacked one of the officers with a knife before being shot. Alberta's police watchdog, the Alberta Serious Incident Response Team, will be looking into the circumstances surrounding this shooting, as it does in any case where someone is injured or killed by law enforcement. Reporting from Sherwood Park, Nicole Weisberg, CTV News.
A town hall was hosted by Edmonton Police tonight, addressing a new wave of extortions targeting the South Asian business community. Edmonton Police say there have been 6 recent incidents. For over a year, a police investigation known as Project Gaslight identified a total of 40 incidents of extortion, arson, and shootings targeting South Asian businesses. Police say these latest extortions are not being included in Project Gaslight. Police say they are investigating connections to the Lawrence Bishnoi gang. India's counterterrorism law enforcement agency says the gang's leader, Bishnoi, operates his terror syndicate from jails in different states in India. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith has called for the federal government to designate the gang as a terrorist organization in Canada. A similar town hall was held last year, and community members say it did help build trust with police. For more details on tonight's town hall, head to our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. The recent death of a 17-year-old girl near Mundare is renewing calls for an overpass at Highways 16 and 855. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, it's something many say should have been done years ago.
Hug your kids and tell them how much they mean to you, because you never know when the last time is.
Less than a week ago, Bernie and Annya Pallsitt were preparing for their daughter's graduation party. Now they're planning her funeral.
This girl was such a spitfire. The energy she had was just amazing. Her friends, they were so important to her. She had a light. She touched everybody that knew her.
17-year-old Annya excelled in sports, loved to paint, and planned to become a teacher. A bright future cut short. Annya was on her way home from work as a camp counselor. She was on Highway 855, crossing Highway 16, when her vehicle was hit by a semi. An intersection the town's mayor says has been a problem for years.
Fatalities, so accidents almost weekly. Like it's been horrible. When you come up to the stop sign, there's a little hill that comes over, and you cannot really see the oncoming traffic from there. So you're pretty much going blind to go across.
Improvements have been made over the years, including flashing signs, better lighting, and rumble strips to warn about the crossing. But the death of a promising young woman has many who use the crossing, including her parents, saying it's time for an overpass.
It's too late now for us, but if we can save lives further down the road to get that changed, it'll be worth it.
Alberta's Transportation Minister tells CTV News a study was recently done to see what improvements could be made to this intersection, including the need for an interchange. Detailed design work is expected to start as early as 2026. Once that is complete and funding in place, the minister says construction could be completed within a 2-year window. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, near Mundare.
It's been nearly 2 months since a teenager from Edmonton disappeared. His friends and family are looking for answers. Dozens of friends, family, and supporters gathered at Rossdale Park yesterday for a vigil. Police say 14-year-old Samuel Bird was last seen June 1st, leaving his home to go visit a friend in West Edmonton. His mother says it's unlike her son to go this long without reaching out.
I'm just hoping and praying that we'll get some answers soon so I must know where my boy is and if he's alive, like that'd be like the best, but if he's not, and I don't think he is because just everything just stopped, like no messages, nothing.
Bird is 5'8" tall with a slim build. He has brown hair and brown eyes and may have a black eye and stitches on his cheek and nose. Police say he spends time at West Edmonton Mall and is familiar with the city's west and south side. The Edmonton Police Service says crime is down in our city. EPS says compared to 2023, the number of overall crimes reported in Edmonton dropped by more than 6% last year. The city's violent crime rate also saw a nearly 3% decrease compared to a 7% increase the year before. The EPS interim chief says disorder-related crimes are still increasing, which has police considering different strategies.
We have people using drugs. We know we have people overdosing. Some it's in public, some it's in private spaces. What is the health response? What partners do we need to partner up with as in terms of social partners or government partners to provide supports to these people? A justice response may not be the answer for the most part.
The city also saw a 153% increase in charges related to the possession of opioids other than heroin. One of Edmonton's oldest bridges is getting a long-awaited facelift. As CTV's Merrick DeCash reports, the rehabilitation of the low-level bridge will impact traffic.
Upgrades to the low-level bridge are underway.
We're doing some construction to extend its life, and we're also doing a big network planning study to basically plan for its ultimate replacement.
Northbound vehicle traffic on the low level has been completely stopped. That traffic is being detoured to the James McDonald Bridge for the duration of construction. Southbound traffic will continue, though there will be occasional lane reductions and full closures.
A lot of the work is being done underneath the bridge. We're strengthening some elements underneath. We're cleaning it. If you look out there, you're going to see it looks like it's very rusted. We're going to clean that up. The bridge itself still has life left, but we're making sure that it's going to last long enough before we actually have to replace it.
A supervisor for the project says despite this year's rehabilitation, the bridge will still need to be replaced within 5 to 7 years.
Oh, that's a problem. I think that's a huge problem. I don't think they can do without that bridge.
Representatives from the Downtown Revitalization Coalition say the project will have a negative impact on businesses and schools downtown.
The issue is not necessarily specific to bridge construction or maintenance. We know that that is necessary. The alarm that we have been raising since the beginning of the year is this is just one more route to our downtown that is blocked.
With Valley Line LRT construction nowhere near completion, completion, Cheryl Watson says this is just another blow to commuters.
You can't have all of these different routes inaccessible all at the same time. So staggering construction projects of main infrastructure traffic routes that are going to impact downtown. You can spread them out.
Construction on the low-level bridge is expected to be complete by the end of the year. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
A woman in Parkland County, convicted multiple times in the past for starving and mistreating horses, is fighting fresh charges. Patricia Moore has a court-ordered lifetime ban from owning horses. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, Mounties have accused her of violating that order.
Patricia Moore was not in court when her lawyer entered a not guilty plea for the 5 charges she's facing under the criminal code. RCMP laid those charges in April after seizing several horses they described as in distress from a farm near Evansburg. Sources tell CTV this is Patricia or Trish Moore's farm. The gate features equestrian silhouettes and the mailbox with a painted horse reads Moore. A pile of horse manure is just inside a gate elsewhere on the property near a sign warning trespassers to stay away. Moore is charged with possessing stolen property and 2 counts of causing unnecessary pain and suffering or injury to an animal. Police also allege Moore violated a lifetime ban on owning, possessing, or caring for horses. That ban was imposed the last time Moore was in court. In 2019, police, with help from the SPCA, found 7 dead horses on her property. They would later seize 65 horses and 6 dogs from that farm. In the trial that followed, the veterinarian who autopsied 2 of the animals testified they had starved to death. Moore avoided a criminal conviction in that case, but was found guilty on 4 charges under the Animal Protection Act in 2022. She was also convicted a decade before of permitting horses to be in distress. People in court today for Moore's appearance tell CTV they're frustrated she hasn't faced stiffer penalties for repeat offenses. Police left several horses in Moore's care after that April seizure, ordering her to rehome them as part of her bail conditions. The case will be back in court early next month to set a trial date. In Evansburg, Jeremy Thompson, CTV News.
Kday is celebrating its highest attendance since the COVID-19 pandemic. Crews were cleaning up the exhibition grounds today after more than 764,000 people walked through the gates this year. Explore Edmonton says it saw a new daily record for single-day attendance with 103,000 people visiting last Wednesday. It says the event will continue to try to attract new visitors and build on annual traditions.
I think the event is on solid foundation. We've seen it grow. I think one of the things that we're most proud of is the fact that we're working with over 200 community partners, over 450 vendors, thousands of staff, local staff and volunteers are involved in the event. So this event is really starting to, I think, reflect Edmonton more so.
Nearly 30,000 corn dogs were eaten throughout the 10-day fair. The Midway also helped raise more than $70,000 for the Alberta Dreams charity thanks to Edmonton's Chris Sheets. He spent 54 hours riding the Ferris wheel. Coming up next, how many candidates will be on next month's Alberta by-election ballot? Also just ahead, how one Alberta woman is planning to fight charges she faces after not providing a breathalyzer sample to police.
The scariest day I have ever had in my whole life.
Good evening, folks. Into the low 20s again today. 22 for a daytime high, a couple degrees cooler than average. It is going to heat up, though, over the next couple of days, and we'll get some sunshine to go along with the warmer temperatures. Those details right after.
A Calgary woman who says she was unable to provide a breathalyzer sample due to injuries is facing a failure to comply charge. She says she's never even consumed alcohol for religious reasons. Now she is trying to fight the charges with a proof of sobriety and is facing an uphill battle. CTV's Tyler Barrow has more.
Pamela Custa is getting used to biking, but not because it's summer. Early in the spring, she was served with a failure to comply charge and lost driving privileges.
The scariest day I have ever had in my whole life.
On April 24th at 11:30 a.m., she was pulled over for speeding near 114th Avenue and Stony Trail Southeast. It was then she was asked to provide a breathalyzer sample. An earlier fall left her ribs injured, but she didn't think much of it until this. According to the officer's notes, she tried 30 times but was unsuccessful.
I felt every time I was able to just get a good blow in or a good breath in, he would yank it out.
The officer charged her with failure to comply under the Highway Traffic Act. Her license was suspended for 90 days while her vehicle was impounded at a cost of $1,600. Now, her insurance will no longer cover her and she needs a blower device added to her vehicle, and she has to take the Planning Ahead course from the Alberta Motor Association.
Being treated like I'm a drunk driver.
For Lacusta, that's what's especially humiliating. As a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, she says she hasn't had an alcoholic drink in her life. Just hours after she was charged, she got allowed to conduct a urine test verifying she was sober. The Safe Roads Committee still upheld the charge.
I do not wish this on anyone.
By June, she went to a doctor and discovered 2 fractured ribs. By then, it was too late to fight the charge on a medical condition. That's why people need to seek legal advice immediately, according to one expert.
The process is that you can have a hearing in which you can provide evidence of a reasonable excuse. She failed to do that.
Lacusta did, but says the lawyer didn't recommend the medical exam. In response to the incident, the Ministry of Justice says there are instances where people have difficulty providing a breath sample, adding individuals who believe they are medically unable to provide a sample are encouraged to seek medical evaluation, particularly pulmonary function testing, that may help clarify their circumstances in any legal or administrative process that follows. Tyler Barrows, CTV News, Calgary.
Lacusta says while she's planning to keep fighting the charge, her court date is not scheduled until September 2026. A potential referendum question has been sent to a judge to make sure it doesn't violate the Constitution. The proposed question is whether people agree with Alberta becoming a sovereign country and ceasing to be a province in Canada. The question was submitted to the electoral officer earlier this month by Mitch Sylvester, an executive with the Alberta Prosperity Project. If approved, Sylvester would still need to collect 177,000 signatures in 4 months to get his question on the ballot. In June, Alberta's electoral officer approved a competing question that seeks to have Alberta make it an official policy that the province will never separate from Canada. The provincial government and the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees will enter an enhanced mediation process for contract negotiations. Finance Minister Nate Horner says he spoke with the AUPE president, and both parties believe this is the best path forward towards a fair and equitable agreement. He says the enhanced mediation process will finish by the end of August. The mediator will produce non-binding recommendations for both parties to consider. Back in May, the AUPE reported 90% of its members voted for strike action. The AUPE represents about 23,000 provincial workers. Elections Canada says next month's by-election in Alberta will have an adapted ballot as the number of candidates surpasses 200. Elections Canada has confirmed 209 candidates in the Battle River Crowfoot riding. The riding has been targeted by electoral reform advocacy group, the Longest Ballot Committee. Voters will now be required to write the name of the person they're voting for on the adaptive ballot. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is hoping to win the riding after losing his Ottawa seat in the spring election. The deadline for nominations for candidates was today. After the break, how this summer's temperatures are matching up to last year's scorcher in July.
I'm quite happy with it because we don't have as much smoke as we did last year.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. 22 degrees, 2 degrees cooler than the average daytime high, and 3 degrees below average for the morning low. It was a chilly morning in the Edmonton area. Some single digits outside the city, 10 in the city. Will be a little bit milder than that tomorrow. South of Edmonton, we've got a bit of cloud cover tomorrow morning, but around Edmonton and off to the north, mainly sunny skies in the morning and sunshine right across most of the province through the afternoon. And it actually looks like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday should see a fair amount of sunshine, all thanks to this big upper ridge, this bubble of warmer air aloft that's going to ripple its way in over the next couple of days. That's also going to contribute to the heat that we'll see at the surface. Mid-20s tomorrow, but near 30 for daytime highs Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That ridge does break down just in time for the weekend, though. So there's at least a chance of some showers or rain for one or both of the days this weekend. 5 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning. Should be in the 7-8 degree range from Jasper up through the Peace Country. About 10 or 11 in East Central Alberta and Red Deer. Here in Edmonton, 13 degrees tomorrow morning. 27s, 28s, and sunshine in the northwest. Mid-20s in northeastern areas. You'll see more sun than cloud. There might be a few passing clouds in Lac La Biche, Cold Lake, but certainly not mostly cloudy skies. 26, 27-ish for a high in Edson. About 28 into Jasper. Chance of some fog patches tomorrow morning in Red Deer. I think that'll burn off fairly quickly. You'll see sunshine through the afternoon, high of about 24, somewhere in that 23, 24 degree range in Lloydminster and Coronation as well. Here in Edmonton, light wind, sunny skies, and 25, 28s and 29s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's a chance one or two of those days we hit 30. 23 with that chance of showers for Saturday. Could see some showers or periods of rain Sunday as well, and a high of about 21 or 22. Temperatures this weekend to be highly dependent on whether or not we see that rain and just how steady it is. And then low to mid-20s through the rest of the first week of August. But July is going to end on a hot note with daytime highs back into the 25 to 30 range over the next few days. That is your forecast.
From heavy downpours to clear blue skies and sunshine, July has been full of different kinds of weather. As CTV's Nair Manisa reports, statistically, we are having the summer we're supposed to have with at least one advantage over last year.
And bubblegum is my favorite.
A windy, overcast day may not scream ice cream weather unless you're this trio.
It is ice cream weather every day.
They're not waiting for hot weather to enjoy a cool treat.
It hasn't been sweltering hot like everywhere else, and it hasn't been super rainy. So I think we've got a very good summer.
This ice cream shop worker says it's been a slower month.
You get some business, even though we had like really crappy weather, but of course like that 1 week of rain in like I think beginning of July or something like that, yeah, that didn't really help a lot. Not a lot of business.
July has brought a mixed bag of conditions, but no actual heat wave.
We've seen 9 days below seasonal temperatures, 8 days at seasonal temperatures, and 8 days above seasonal temperatures.
Even though we saw a number of storms, it's not as much rain as some people think.
July so far has been actually a bit on the dry side. It's usually the rainiest month of the year, followed by June, and we're below seasonal rainfall numbers.
Now, statistically, July's daytime high average is 23.5 degrees Celsius, meaning we are on par for this month.
We have this funny thing here in Edmonton where we want to hit 30 degrees, and I think once we hit 30 degrees, we feel like, oh, it's summer, and that's how we calibrate where it should be, but that's really not the case.
While the sun may not be scorching, there is a silver lining.
I'm quite happy with it because we don't have as much smoke as we did last year.
Enjoying Edmonton's summers is important.
You have to do what you have to do. You live in Edmonton and you have to put up with it.
Whether it's rain, shine, or smoke. Nair Misa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Three-time Olympian Michelle Plouffe is retiring from international basketball. Canada Basketball says she will be moving from the court to behind the bench as its new 3x3 performance manager. For more than a decade, Plouffe represented Canada as a standout player. She helped lead Canada to a 4th place finish at the Paris Olympics in 2024.
Let's go.
A few extra teams were on the basketball courts during a unique tournament in Edmonton this weekend. Full Court 21 Canada requires 6 players on the court at the same time. The catch is there are no teammates. The first player to score at least 21 points or whoever has the highest score at the end of the time limit wins. The winners will compete in the World Final in New York.
New York's amazing, man. It's everything you can ask for and want in terms of basketball, the atmosphere, the fans, the crowd, everything. Like, it's a great place to play, and it's a great environment to be in.
The final takes place August 19th. Canada's best barista was crowned in Edmonton this weekend. Colombian Coffee Bar and Roastery hosted the finals on Sunday. It began with 18 competitors. The finals included the top 6 from across the country, including 2 from Edmonton. Ben Put from Calgary's Monogram Coffee won, reclaiming the title of Canada's best. This is his 7th Canadian championship title. He will represent Canada at the World Barista Championships this fall. The Edmonton competitors from the Colombian came in 4th and 5th. All right, well, basketball and barista is always something going on in this city. That's all the time we have tonight. Thank you for tuning in and have a good rest of your night.